Hi, my name is Tammy Reiger, and I am a higher self illumination healer. I am the creator of Higher Self Alchemy and Abundance Energetics. I'm an author and an energetic web designer. Today, I want to talk about the missing link in the ascension process that will actually help you manifest with more ease and feel like you have more control over your life and in this world we live in. And that is descension. Now, I don't hear a lot of people talking about this, and this is something that I've been recently led back to. I had read a book years ago, and I just wasn't ready to hear the messages that were in it. But now where I am in this path, I understand that it is exactly what I know I've been missing in my ascension journey. I've been on my ascension journey for 8 years. I started with some energy healing modalities, and which has led me to create my own. And as I stepped into creating my own in this year, I've been led to understand maybe a deeper understanding of my work and understanding what it is yet to become. And that has happened through the descension process, not through the ascension. So what's the difference between ascension and descension? Ascension is about up-leveling, increasing our frequency, getting to a higher dimension, expanding our gifts, some of them. It's about tapping into the unlimited potential. It's about mastering gifts, mastering knowledge, but the element of leveling up. There's also an element of going home. And I'm going to actually talk about why that actually may not be the home that you're looking for in a moment. So we're all focused on trying to shift our way so we can get higher and higher and higher so we can ascend in the hopes that we can get home and not have to maybe go through a life of struggle again. But that's only half of the equation. And there are many books about this. The Dark Crystal was a great movie that really shared this about how if we only look at the stars, we're only tapping into one potential within us. There's an equal part in this that many of us are not utilizing as best we could. We do utilize it when we ground, but we don't use it as often as we should. And if we did understand the magic that would come into our lives, if we would allow ourselves to explore what that is. Now, descension does not mean that you're losing dimensions or you're decreasing your frequency. It's about allowing the creative energy, the divine feminine flow to work with you. And she exists in the lower chakras. And that's why I said people normally interact with this only when they ground. And people who, including myself, who really focus on that ascension piece, feel very free when you're in that energy. You just kind of become wavy and it's freer. There's less stagnancy. It doesn't feel as heavy. And when you think about those lower chakras or even the feminine, it can feel heavier because it's just a different energy entirely. So in order for us to actually ascend and become the bridge between heaven and earth, which is what we are, we must also look into those bottom chakras, into our divine feminine essence, look at the feminine Christ consciousness and understand what our role is in that. It isn't just the Christ consciousness from, say, Jesus's standpoint. It's also the feminine Christ consciousness, which we have a manifestation of as, say, Mary Magdalene or Mother Mary from that time. There are other Egyptian pantheon gods and goddesses that also will help. You have the Buddha, you also have the feminine Buddha, and that's an element of the feminine Christ consciousness. But in order for us to truly master this ascension in this lifetime that we're in, we need to be able to tap into both and merge the two. And that's when you really become the bridge. And what do you get from that? You manifest easier. You open yourself up to instant manifestation. you start to understand how it is that you get to manifest outside the systems and structures that have been put in place in, say, Atlantis. Those are in place because we have shut down our ability to manifest from within. Manifesting does not happen outside of ourselves. It happens inside of you. But when we have those energetic structures within ourselves closed off because of energetic trauma, potentially vows and contracts, limiting beliefs through cultures and religions, we don't utilize that. And we've been trying to manifest a better life, of one of thriving and abundance and success and love, without using that space. Or if we are, it's broken. It doesn't quite work right. And this is your energetic womb within your body. And it does exist within that sacral chakra area. And again, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, we have it. It doesn't matter if you've had a hysterectomy. It's energetic. It's always there. And this womb is the bridge between heaven and earth. It exists within that space. So when you think about, let's say having more money, or finding your soulmate, or finding a better job, or finding new opportunities, those all start in there. But if your cosmic womb is not connected to source, it's blocked for whatever reason, you're manifesting without like ingredients. Like if you baked a cake, if you skipped putting flour in and just use eggs, water, and oil, your cake wouldn't look so good at the end, would it? So as humans or individual, you have figured out a way to circumvent that process in order to manifest, but it takes longer because you're not truly tapped into that cosmic womb umbilical cord that allows you to download stardust particles into your womb in order to then use the elements to then create something into physical form. And then once it's ready and polished within the womb, it's birthed through the earth's womb. And that's the descension process. That's down, not up. And if we have any trauma around what they call the crone or the mother energy, or the maiden energy, or the elements, all of that gets stuck, and we manifest like crumbs, or we manifest and it's not quite right, or we don't manifest at all. And it's because we're trying to live this life without actually looking into the womb and looking through all the guilt and the shame and the trauma and the emotions of anger or frustration or stuckness or fear that may come up when you think about that. I mean, we still live in a world, at least here in the United States, where men are embarrassed to go buy tampons and pads at the grocery store. That's a sign of how disconnected we are from that energy. And even as a woman, are you truly comfortable with all of that happens in that area? Because centuries, millennia before, it was honored. And we don't live in a society that it's honored now. In fact, I don't know if this is still true, but they were talking about even having pills where you wouldn't have to get your period at all. The period is the cycling of that womb within you. And yes, when you're in childbirthing years, it actually physically happens. But even after menopause, you still have an energetic menstrual cycle. And that physical menstrual cycle is a physical manifestation of that. So you have this physical womb space that obviously can birth babies, but we all have this cosmic womb space. But there's so much packed and loaded in there that we don't want to go there. And there's this talk about, well, if we ascend and we look up and we connect to source and we work with the galactics or the angelic beings, that we don't have to actually go there. You do. In order for you to find that ease, that sweetness that you so desire, that flow that you want, you must look into that deeply sacred area within you, the womb. energy. The divine feminine essence lives in that space. It's the creative energy. And a lot of people say, I don't have a creative bone in my body. Have you ever solved a problem? If you've solved a problem, you're creative. If you've imagined your to-do list of like a way to do it so that it's easier and more in flow, that's creative. Creative isn't just painting a painting or drawing something or singing or playing an instrument. Creativity is in every semblance of your life. If you get up in the morning and you plan your day in your mind, that's creative. So get rid of that. We all have both the masculine and the feminine within us, and the feminine really likes, that's the creative. She's the imaginative one who thinks about all these possibilities that may even seem really far-fetched, or that freedom. That's what she does. She doesn't like structure. Your divine feminine hates structure. The male is what brings in the structure and the inspired action based on the inspiration that it gets from the feminine. You have within you the ability to totally change your world and potentially change the world of your family and maybe even ripple out farther. But it means that you need to look at your own stuff. Like, there's nothing out there that's going to tell you what's in that space and what's in the way and why you have it cut off. Now, it could be through past lives. The divine feminine has been bastardized for centuries, millennia, eons, for us to not look there and understand the power that actually exists within there. I have clients now that we're working through this, and one client in specific manifested a car because her higher self knew that's what she needed in order to feel free and get to her next level, because she created the idea of it in her womb space. She never tried to manifest it. It just literally showed up because in her womb space, she had already created the idea of it. She became the car. And then the car literally showed up. She had been test driving cars, and this car literally wasn't supposed to come into this lot. This color, the whole combination, it was a total surprise that it was on the truck because it was for her. Her higher self wanted her to have that car. And everything else fell into place for that to happen because the cosmic womb space is starting to work. This is how this happens. We don't have to make money. We don't have to make clients. We don't have to make partners. We don't have to make opportunities. They all start within that womb space. But in order for it to work, we have to work through all the shit that's in there. And there's some really gross stuff. There's been a lot of things done to us for us to separate that stuff from us. Egypt, Atlantis, Lemuria, pre-Lemuria, which I don't have a name for, but I've seen. So we have to start fixing that. New Earth already exists, and we're being able to be part of the creative process of that. But in order to do that, you have to own it within you. And that's what the Descension process is. You don't pull in the feminine crisis consciousness through Ascension. It's through the Descension and looking within your own creative energy and how that plays in your life. And it's going to play differently for each of us. It's different. So where are you not honoring that? And what comes up when I talk about this idea that you need to work through the womb and understanding birthing, or understanding cycles and energy and creation in your womb, and using the magic that's there. We don't just birth human beings through that. We birth manifestations through that energetically, and then they materialize in the outside world. There was something else I was going to talk about. Well, I remember I'm going to let my crew through. So I work a lot with the Egyptian pantheon. A lot of my work deals with pyramid templates based on the Egyptian pyramids. Some of my work is also about working with the gods and goddesses. So I'm going to let whoever wants to come through today to expand more on this. Mary Magdalene's also here, but I don't sense that she's going to talk. I sometimes work with her, but it's more the Egyptian. So while I remember where I was going, or maybe I'm not supposed to, I'm just going to let them come through. I am going to close my eyes because it just works better that way for me. We have Hathor first. Excuse me. Throughout the ascension process, so many are focused on opening their third eye. Did you know that you actually have a feminine third eye, that if you opened, it would allow you to have more creativity and allow manifesting to happen much, much faster? Well, I can talk about that all day. I would like to talk about the throat chakra. Many of you are working on opening your throat chakra to share your wisdom and knowledge, your thoughts and ideas to those that are ready to hear it. And while you can work on your throat chakra and open it and find the daggers that have been placed into it, you also need to look at the divine feminine essence in order to allow the flow, to trust the energy of what will flow through your throat as it is created and manifested in your sacral area. Many of you are actually blocking the feminine energy from flowing through your throat chakra to share your ideas and creations into the world, and speaking them is a way of speaking them into existence. When you think of the womb space, you think that it has to go down through the womb, down the portal, down your legs and down into the earth. But some of the energy actually comes up from the sacral energy, up your spine and out your mouth, and you speak it into existence. So if you find yourself unable to express your ideas, your thoughts, your creativity into being, don't just look at what the throat chakra holds. Look at what potentially you're afraid of sharing that is manifesting within your womb space, within the cosmic womb, within the earth womb. You work with the energies of that in the middle place between it all. Some of you may feel inclined to sing or drum or dance. Move the energy through you. Tone it out. It doesn't have to sound like English. It can very much sound like an ancient language that you knew eons ago as you connect to that essence of yourself and freeing her. The last time that you may have touched upon the divine feminine, may have been hundreds of thousands of years ago. So you don't necessarily remember what that even is. Never mind that it's not safe. What does that actually look like? So ask her to show herself in your life. Ask her, with your higher self's assistance, how it is that you can start to play with and remember what it was like to work with the magic of the cosmic womb and the earth womb, to be able to create beautiful opportunities, peace, joy, fun, discovery, and play in your life every day. You are meant for more than you can ever know. But in order to do that, you must tap into your own potential. And your own potential is not through your third eye, and it's not through your crown. Yes, it's beautiful to see the expansiveness in the universe and all that is in play there. But there's a beauty that lives inside of you that you need to open up to see as well. And that exists within this cosmic womb space, where you manifest everything that you think about or play with in that space. You can have it all. You were built for it all. There's nothing that you can't have, that you can't imagine that you can have, as long as it's an alignment and comes from a place of compassion and love. And this is the sticking point for many people when they get to the divine feminine essence. It isn't just about opening your womb space. It's about unconditional love and compassion. Yes, for others, and that will come. But first, it starts with you having that level of compassion and unconditional love for yourself. When you do that, you will allow yourself to explore the possibilities and magic that lives within you. This compassion, unconditional love for yourself fuels the energy in that womb space. It is what allows you to tap into that magic. You can't tap into that magic if you yourself are not willing to accept where you are. Your walk through this lifetime may not have been perfect. Maybe you have regrets or resentments, but all of those things are just holding you back from being able to repair it and move forward and create something new. Don't let it hold you back anymore. It is time for you to remember this power that lives within you and everyone else around you. Everyone has this power within them. And when we do, we will create that magical place once again on earth. It doesn't start outside of you. There isn't some grand event that's going to happen. The grand event is within you when you realize that this power lives within you and you activate it. And then things start to shift. The world is nothing but a reflection of how you feel and believe within you. If you want it to change, you shift and the world shifts around you. Blaming others, thinking that others have the way isn't the way. The way for you lies within you, and remembering the divine feminine essence and how to work with that within you. And as you open up to that spring of joy, to that spring of peace and fun and play, the world becomes the same. That power lives within you. You were born with it. It is not something that you have to learn about. You just have to remember and heal what lies in the way of you doing so. So it's a little bit from Hathor. I remember where I was going with this. Did I? I briefly had it. This happens when when I channel, like people say, oh, you channeled this. And I'm like, I don't remember any of that because it's not me necessarily. And even when I'm talking and I'm not channeling, I am getting input from my guides and guidesses, so that will disappear and come in and out. But I finally have gotten it, although it came and now it's gone again. See, I do this to myself. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have talked. Oh, many people are looking for a home. That home is out there. Home is on another planet. Home is where source is. And going through this process with myself and even my clients, home is not out there. It's in here. And in order for you to connect to this and be open to this, you need to look at the whole part of you. So not just working on those upper chakras, but working on those bottom chakras and starting to be comfortable with the divine feminine space that she works in. That's her workshop, if you will, this energy that's in the sacral and the roots and either the solar plexus, because the solar plexus is about emotion. And they all work together in their own way. But in order for you to truly understand where home is and feel that peace and whatever home means to you, many people, including my clients, I hear home, they would get teary-eyed, thinking that that was somewhere out there that they had to connect to or get back to in order to feel at home, and that earth wasn't home. But when you connect to this energy and really start to work through the stuff that prevents you from being able to connect to your divine feminine essence, you realize home is in here. And once you realize that, no one can ever take that from you. It's a connection that cannot be broken. And with my clients, we're working on actually activating the dragon mother that lives inside of us, which lives in our cosmic womb. She is representative of that. She works with all of the elements. She can be very compassionate, fiery, but she can also be very soft and gentle and support you in what you need to be. And that dragon mother lives within you, in your womb space. And when I've been working with the dragon energy, this dragon mother with my clients, they say to me, I finally understand what it feels like to find home. I feel like I'm home with her. This is why I feel it's the missing link in the ascension process. Home is not out there. It is within us. Home is in that creation part within us. We can't be everything we're supposed to be unless we're willing to look there. Running away to this place that's not Earth is not going to get us to this place. And once you come home here, you realize no matter where you are, that you are always home. So hopefully that helped you. If you like this content, please like and share it, or at least like it. It helps other people also get access to this content so that YouTube, helps me out here. The other thing is, if you like this content, please subscribe to my channel. That also helps me build new followers so I get more views. If you want to learn more about how to work with this divine feminine energy and how to awaken to your own path and understand how to work with your higher self, that she can guide you to the exact points in time, whether past, present, or future, that are actually preventing you from opening to that cosmic magical energy inside of you, then either join my Facebook group or schedule a 15-minute free call on how you can work with me one-on-one or in groups so that you can start to actually harness this energy and be able to ascend quicker as you tap into the Descension energy. Okay, so if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Let me know what you think. If there's anything that you would like me to expand upon, or other things you'd like me to cover about the feminine or the Christ consciousness, or anything else, drop a comment below. And thank you for listening, and I will see you all soon. Bye for now.